Hey, what's going on guys? This is Dr. Apolly. Now it's been a while since I've talked about anime, I'm well aware of that, but that all changes today. Today we're going to be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is Avatar an anime? Really doesn't matter for this video. It still does a lot of stuff better than typical Shounen anime. Avatar is a children's cartoon aired on Nickelodeon that is often compared to by Shounen anime. And for good reason, they have a lot of similarities. But I'm gonna be that guy who goes on a whim and says that Avatar is actually better than 90% of Shounen anime. Talking primarily Shounen battle anime. Before we get started, I want to preface that this isn't applicable to every single Shounen battle anime. I'll mention the exceptions as we go on. So yeah, without any further ado, here are the top 10 things Avatar does better than Shounen anime. Starting off the list, we have a clear, consistent goal. Right from the beginning, we know exactly how the show is going to pan out. And throughout the show, it's a common idea at the back of our heads throughout the entire show. Yes, they'll get sidetracked and do other things, but everything the Avatar team does is in some way related to defeating the Fire Lord. Unlike in shows like Naruto, where Naruto is trying to become the Hokage, but halfway through the show, you forget that he wants to become Hokage, and you just remember that he wants to save his friend. Or in Bleach, where the main character doesn't even have a goal. I'm not saying these anime have to be super close-minded and only focus on their goal, but keep it prominent, make it a main aspect of the show. Don't leave it on the back burner for hundreds of episodes. Again, Avatar doesn't even focus on its main goal the entire time. Just make it a prominent aspect, that way the thought is always looming through our heads. At no point in Avatar does it ever feel like the plot is being dragged out. I could easily mention Bleach or Naruto again, and it would be all the more applicable. But even Hunter x Hunter and One Piece are guilty of dragging out things a bit too much. Avatar is consistent, it doesn't ever do that. Next up is consistent animation. I didn't say better animation, I said consistent animation. Avatar doesn't save 99% of its budget for one episode or one fight like Naruto or One Piece does. The entire show, every season, has consistent animation. Obviously the big fights have more time and budget put into them, but that doesn't mean the little fights are disregarded. There's no episode or scene that just looks awful. It's all consistent, making the show feel far more organic and far more natural than a lot of shonen anime. The shonen anime that match this consistent level of production: Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, My Hero Academia, and Hunter x Hunter 2011. Avatar is a show that can be enjoyed at all ages. Many shonen anime, I feel like, cater to one specific audience a little bit too much, which isn't inherently a bad thing. If you're trying to appeal to one audience, you're gonna try and mostly appeal to that audience, obviously. But Avatar has done something miraculous. It's able to be enjoyed by both adults and adolescents alike. The younger audience likes the humor and cool fights, while the older audience also enjoys the humor and cool fights, but can also appreciate the show on a deeper level thanks to its mature themes. Themes like genocide, realizing who you are, overcoming your past, moral ambiguity. Themes I'll be talking about in later videos, but for now, I'd say the only anime that even comes close to doing this as well as Avatar is One Piece, for really the same reasons. Naruto started off as if it was going in the right direction, but then in Shippuden, they just completely dropped the humor and made it like super serious. But most of it doesn't even appeal to adults because it's kind of boring and bad, and a lot of the themes that were established in the first part weren't really built upon in Shippuden, and it got really edgy. So I feel like mostly preteens and like early teenagers like the show, not even kids, to be honest with you. My Hero Academia, arguably, I feel like it still caters a little bit more towards kids, but of course adults can still enjoy it. Fullmetal Alchemist and Hunter x Hunter, I feel like, are a little bit too mature for kids, especially Hunter x Hunter. There's a lot of stuff in that anime which I've seen firsthand turn off a lot of younger audiences. The next one is that Avatar actually has a really good reason for someone to be the chosen one, and why no one like him has shown up for the past 100 years. All other anime that do this don't really have a good reason for it. Gon's dad is really OP for some reason, and Gon just happened to be the son of some really OP father. Naruto just so happened to have this giant fox in its belly. Ichigo's some substitute Soul Reaper Quincy Hollow sort of guy. Why? I don't know. Deku just so happened to be the next person to get the most overpowered quirk. I'm not saying any of these are bad. In fact, I think the shows benefit from having a chosen one. I think the shows become a lot more enjoyable when there's a chosen one rather than just some random guy. But Avatar does this chosen one thing better than any anime. Now in the show it's established that the Avatar can master all 4 elements while other people might not even be able to master an element, or they can only master one element. Avatar can master all 4. Okay. But then, the Avatar hasn't shown up for the past 100 years. It isn't just, oh, the Avatar died and now you're the next Avatar, so let's just continue the series off from here. No, the Avatar hasn't shown up for the past 100 years and the world is like lost of hope. And in that past 100 years, everything has just got messed up. The air nomads are all dead. Only one waterbender left in the Southern Water Tribe. The Earth Kingdom and the Water Tribes have been fighting against the Fire Nation for the past 100 years. Now where is the Avatar? He's been trapped in an ice ball for the past 100 years. All because he was too afraid to handle the responsibilities of being an Avatar. That backstory right there is way more compelling and builds way more suspense than anything I've seen in Shounen anime. It doesn't feel random, it doesn't feel like the characters are OP for the sake of being OP. It feels more organic, it feels more natural. There's a reason there's been an 100-year war. The Avatar has to be in the world to maintain peace. Again, much better than anything I've seen in Shounen anime. Avatar is finished and has a satisfying ending. Now we're gonna pretend Korra doesn't exist for a bit because that's a sequel and not part of the main story. Aang defeats the Fire Lord, all the plot lines are wrapped up nicely, Zuko becomes the Fire Lord, all the pairings are made final. It's a really good feeling happy ending. If you read the comics, you also find out who Zuko's mother was, Toph and her deal with her parents. So yeah, it's just a really complete, happy ending. A lot of shonen anime either end prematurely, like Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach had a pretty unsatisfying ending, Naruto's ending was okay, but it really should have happened many episodes ago. I'd argue the show could have and would have been better ended off at Pain, but that's just me. Hunter x Hunter and One Piece aren't gonna end in the next 10 years, and Dragon Ball is still going on for some reason. The only anime that has as satisfying of an ending is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We'll see how My Hero's gonna end, but that's the only one that has as satisfying of an ending as Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar has an amazing group of main characters. They're all distinct, unique, and quirky in their own way. The only anime to really match this, in my honest opinion, is Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter if you just count Gon and Killua, and One Piece with the Straw Hats. All the other anime, the main cast is either just forgotten or just nowhere near as lovable and distinct as they are in Avatar. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were meant to be the main characters, but it just kinda ended up being Naruto and Sasuke, and mostly just Naruto at that point. Bleach was supposed to be Rukia, Chad, Orihime, and Ichigo. God knows what happened to that group. Most anime just can't really match Avatar, and it's really unfortunate. Avatar: The Last Airbender had an organic and natural feeling sequel. Say what you want about Korra, but the events that happened felt very natural, and it was a very organic continuation. The events were a very believable transition from The Last Airbender, and a lot of the events were connected to the characters in The Last Airbender in some way or another. Tenzin being the next Last Airbender. Bloodbending now becoming an illegal bending technique. The Equalists, who want non-benders to be equal to regular benders, which is something that we've probably all thought of at some point. The events felt like a really natural transition. Unlike say Boruto, where there's some elements tied back to the original Naruto series, but Korra just does way more. In Korra, we get to see how much the world has changed over time. The world went through a little industrialization period, and now everyone has cars, and lightning benders are used to power the city. The lore is built upon a lot more with the introduction of Avatar 1. Again, the world has changed so much. Republic City is unlike anything we've seen in The Last Airbender. A city where all benders live in harmony. There's even pro bending matches. Avatar has a simple yet nuanced power system. Unlike Naruto and Dragon Ball Z where the power ceiling just goes completely out of schwack, Avatar has a very grounded power system. If you can only bend one element at a time, unless you're the Avatar, and there's 4 elements. That's it. There's no secret eye powers or sudden ki blast that can destroy entire planets. Avatar is really grounded and really believable. However, there's still nuance to each ability. For example, firebenders can generate lightning, waterbenders can bend the blood in your body, earthbenders can bend metal, and people are even theorizing glass now. There's enough nuance to the point where it doesn't feel too simple, but it doesn't get too complicated. Bending is also used to develop character. It's not until Zuko finds peace where he can redirect lightning. It's not until Aang learns to stand strong and stop running away where he learns earthbending. There are anime with great power systems that I even prefer over Avatar, but none of them are so simple yet so nuanced and develop character in the way Avatar does. In Avatar, the main character actually develops. There isn't a shonen anime out there where the main character actually develops. Now, the main characters often do develop before the main plot in the case of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Naruto develops into a mature man by the end of the series. But within the main plot, the main characters don't really see all that much development. I made an entire character analysis on Luffy and how the events that occurred in the show changed him, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that he is a developed character. His goals and personality are the same since episode 1. Gon also kind of develops, but it's more so him learning from his mistakes, similar to that of Luffy. Aang not only learns from his mistakes, but changes as a person. As mentioned before, he overcomes the guilt of his past. He understands that there's a real sense of urgency now. He doesn't joke around as much, he's far more focused on his goal. Similar to Edward of Fullmetal Alchemist, only it happens during the series, not before the series. Now last, but certainly not least, Avatar has great world building. Avatar takes all the time it needs to develop its setting. You learn so much about Ba Sing Se during Season 2. In Season 3, you learn so much about the inner workings of the Fire Nation, how strict their regime is, how it's borderline North Korea-like with its isolation. Everyone must wear Fire Nation attire. They all worship their Fire Lord, similar to that of North Korea and the Kim family. The royal members of the Fire Nation are so disassociated from the rest of the country. There's a little, seemingly insignificant moment on the Day of Black Sun, where a soldier tries to use his firebending to no avail. However, at the same time, Azula, Zuko, Fire Lord Ozai, they all knew about this solstice and fled, showing just how disassociated the royal family is from the rest of the country. Again, Ba Sing Se, we know exactly why they're considered the peaceful nation. They brainwash everyone. Honestly, I could very easily go on, but I think you get the point. Shonen anime really lack behind in the world building aspect. And it's only really Hunter x Hunter and One Piece that rival or even exceed Avatar in this department. My Hero Academia, Naruto, their worlds just aren't nearly as interesting, and it's really unfortunate. That'll be it for me. Again, not all of these are 100% applicable to all shonen anime, and some of these are a little bit more of a stretch than others, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you really liked it, consider supporting me on Patreon, and that'll be it for me. Alright, peace.